Welcome everyone to an episode of the Definitive Crusade. As we are recording, the Finns have just lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars, meaning we've lost twice to two winless teams. So I am in a surly mood, just warning you. Joining me for this chaotic crusade through DC comic books are my friends from across the big pond. It's a random dude, Josh. And Matthew, Nightlight 95. Woo.
Hello.
What is up? I'm sorry to hear about that very salty loss to winless teams.
I'm pretty much sure neither of you are. So if only I had time for another Jeopardy, then that would have settled my mood out. But no Jeopardy this time. Matthew has been saved from Jeopardy.
Look, you say save, but I know for a fact I would have beaten all of you in Jeopardy last week.
Really? There is no way Jason Todd's original parents' killers. Not a single chance.
Oh, yeah, sure. Whatever. Okay.
Who was it? Then. Who was it?
I shouldn't have to say.
I
shouldn't have to
say. So this guy is like giving it all this. Yeah. He's listened to the pod already, and he still doesn't know. Oh, right. Okay.
Look, I don't know what you're talking
about. Matthew, I'm glad you could join us this week. Well done, man. Well done. All right. So, truth be told.
By the way, it was Killer Croc.
Yeah. Well looked up.
Thank you.
Hashtag don't use Google. All right, okay.
It's Bing. Thank you.
Sorry. Google's just for us old timers. All right.
Google is the page that I use for our streaming, and then Bing is my backup search engine.
All right. Okay. Cool. Way to shoot yourself in the foot there. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Good work. Okay. So
once I start digging, I might as well just keep going.
Yeah. Make sure to put in your AOL CD so you get another free 170 minutes.
Exactly. Hold up, my dial-up connection is going out.
Keep digging. You might hit Australia. All right. Okay. Right. Believe it or not, we are not the hottest thing that has been over the internet this week. A little thing called DC FanDome occurred. Gents, have you managed to cast your eyes over the trailers and the hints and teasers of what lay ahead? All right. So, Josh, we'll start with you. What is your big take? What's your fave?
It's a tie between. It's a three-way tie between. Obviously, getting the new Batman trailer with Pattinson.
It's not just a signal; it's a warning.
Yep. I know we get more awesome quotes. It's great, and then all we have to do is combine that with the Bale voice, and it's not just a car; it's a war.
Where are the other good toy?
We got the Flash trailer, which that was probably the most exciting one out of all of them for me.
Okay.
Not just because we hear Batman, we hear Michael Keaton's Batman, but seeing Ezra Miller's new Flash suit was something I thought was really cool to see. But just everything around that was just really awesome and exciting to see. And then the Black Adam teaser.
Oh, okay.
Being able to see Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate, obviously not in costume yet, but seeing him there, we know Hawkman will be in there. Seeing Black Adam, spoiler, if you guys haven't seen it, pause this, go watch it, come back. It's a couple minutes. But seeing Black Adam
doesn't give anything away.
Right. But seeing Black Adam just grab that guard and then just shock the shit out of him. Like it totally had a Mortal Kombat feel. That move needs to be an Injustice, both on console and mobile.
Well,
that one's for you, Johnny.
Woo! They're talking about Injustice 3, aren't they, at the minute? So for you mobile Injustice fans, Injustice 2 is going to be called Injustice whatever. Injustice, the first game, is going to get discontinued. So
Injustice Trice.
Yeah, so unfortunately, you're going to have to Gonna have to save all your pennies for all the buy content that goes on there. Okay, cool. All right. So
yeah, so
Black
those are
Adam-
the three that really caught my attention.
Okay.
Seeing kind of the behind the scenes for Aquaman was also fun.
Something
Yeah.
fishy about that.
Dolphins, seahorse,
Sharks.
Matthew, save me, save me from this this trench, this sea trench I seem to have dug for myself.
I can't save you much because I'm right there with you, bud. So the only thing that I've seen from the DC fandom, because I've been, because it's been kind of a rough week for me between work and personal life. So I haven't really been included much in this past week with all the things going on. But I did get to see the Black Adam trailer and the Batman, because those popped up on my feed for YouTube, and I was like, gotta watch these. And that's pretty much all I know dropped from the DC fandom. I saw where they posted the behind the scenes for Aquaman, but it still had a picture of a certain female actress in it, and so I didn't. As long as if she's in the movie, I really don't care about the movie.
Okay, cool. I saw the same picture, and I had the same sort of reaction. I was like, wasn't she fired from this? What's going on? I don't understand.
I was under the impression she had been fired from the casting.
Yeah.
But if she's still going to make an appearance in the movie, I have no interest in watching.
For anyone who has no idea what we're talking about, why don't you Bing or Google
or
DuckDuckGo
or ask Jeeves, maybe he might know what the hell we're talking about, and I'm sure you'll find out if you tick Aquaman actress and then see what sort of stuff happens. So there you go. For me, the Batman was all right, and the Flash was all right. A lot going on in the Flash. For me, I think my two favorite takeaways, you might be a little bit surprised by this one, is I liked the Catwoman Hunted trailer, the animated movie. Totally different style to what we've seen before. A lot of manga in there. She sounds fun. And of course, we get another reiteration of Batwoman, which is always good for grins. And the other one was the Court of Owls teaser for Gotham Knights.
Yes.
That was absolutely.
I'm super excited for that game.
With all the different characters in there, obviously they're showing the different characters you can play and how they might interact with the story and how the story was different if you play like as Batgirl or if you play as Robin or as Nightwing. To be fair, they're the only three characters you ever want to use. Other than that, you might as well play Jim Gordon for all the good. Yeah, he's dead in it. So that tells you. Yeah, so.
Oh, I saw that one coming. I saw that one coming like a Dolphins loss.
So yeah, that's pretty much where I took. You know what? I think I always say this about some of the comic books and some of the story ideas that come up. I can't believe we're getting the Flash in the multiverse film, and then we're getting Spider-Man in a multiverse film. And it's like in the same year. It's like, dudes, come on. Yeah. Share the one brain cell you have between you and come up with something else, please. But
the one that surprised me that's even getting a movie on its own was Peacemaker. Like, the only highlight of Peacemaker from Suicide Squad that I enjoyed was him talking about him eating a whole bunch of dicks.
Well,
so are we just going to get 2 hours of him eating a bunch of dicks?
Well, to be fair, the Peacemaker movie, I didn't see that coming.
No.
Didn't see that
That's it. I'm out.
End of the podcast, everybody. Thank you for coming.
We're here all week. Don't forget tip your waiters. Or waitresses. I'm surprised there was no more Batgirl stuff because she's coming to HBO. But we'll see how that goes. But
I did find it interesting that 2022 is going to be the year for DC movies.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if this is the year that Two-Face is going to be on a lot.
Maybe.
Instead of the Joker. That would be cool for a change.
I'd
would
be
be
okay
cool.
with that.
Maybe they'll finally cast Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
What?
Yeah, don't you think he'd make a great casting for the Penguin?
Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
Yeah.
You mean
Again?
That's been done? Batman Returns.
Well, I forgot. Yeah, you're right. I forgot. Look, I forgot.
Oh man,
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
It has
but
been-
I mean,
that's
you
my
look
fault.
at next year. So we've got the Batman, Black Adam, the Flash,
Mm-hmm.
Aquaman 2, and then Shazam, Force of the Gods.
To be fair, I'm not all that about Shazam. Like, I'm just not.
I mean, there at that point we're gonna get we have to get Black Adam in that one.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we get some Canary and Batgirl
Yeah.
when that comes out. I'm looking forward to the Harley Quinn cartoon show when that returns for season 3.
Yeah.
The Harley Quinn TV show has done something that I never ever thought would happen. It's made my wife like Harley Quinn. It's like, if you're not caught up on season 2, spoiler alert, my wife was clearly upset when she didn't think that they were going to get together. She was like, "Oh, Harley loves her." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, isn't it cool?" Yeah,
Well,
but
that's how it's been in the comics.
her favorite character other than Harley was Psycho Pirate. So,
Oh, yeah.
or she calls it, "Who's the little funny bearded man?" I was like, "Josh," because knowing the cartoon, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's Psycho Pirate."
Mrs. H, if you're listening to this, if you could please just take a bottle of Dr. Pepper and just slap him across the face for me, that'd be great, please, and thank you.
Cool, yeah. If you wear that special outfit as well, that'd be really. At least I get some out of that as well. Cheers.
Yeah, wear a red hood brassiere.
Yes.
As long as it's got fishnets. To be fair, I don't care.
She puts on the red hood helmet, the jacket,
Yeah,
the
it's like,
emblem
hey.
shirt, and then long fishnets.
Tell you what,
Hey, Matthew, do you think he'd actually like Red Hood after that?
my wife, if my wife wore that outfit, Jason Todd would still be the biggest tit in it.
That was just rude.
Oh, that
Right,
was
let's-
good. That
let's
was
keep-
good.
It was good. It was good.
let's keep abreast of things. It's time to get into the comic books. All right. So, as you all know, Matthew was MIA
Mhm.
last time. So, as his penance,
Yeah, I've got.
we have selected a book for him. So, let me do the intro. Josh, you got the pick?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. This is Wonder Woman: The Adventures of Young Diana Special, written by Jordie Bellaire, who you may recognize as the colorist, but she has been doing a lot of written work over at IDW on was it Angel? No, Buffy, and she also did a lot of work with Red Sonja Vampy for Dynamite.
Mhm.
You've got Polina Gnauchow, or whatever, as art. Kendall Good as colorist. I wonder if she was getting earache from Jordie Bellaire about the colors. And then you've got Becca Carey on letters, who's a name who you will have seen pop up recently on lots of different books. Matthew, the stage is yours, my friend.
The stage is mine. All right. Well, so you say this book was a penance, right? And so I went into it like, oh man, they've already read through this. It's gonna be a rough read.
Why
But-
did we have to read it when we got you?
Yeah. Right. But that was my mindset going into this. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be another Wonder Woman thing. Freyja hates Wonder Woman, so I'll probably hear this from her. Immediately starting out, the artwork threw me off because it wasn't like traditional art, like comic book style. It was very childish in the artwork. But the more you read into it, the more it grows on you, right? So first and foremost, this book is extremely long. It's extremely long. There are pages and panels in there that are extremely wordy. I'm just getting all the cons out of the way. It's extremely wordy. The artwork threw me off, but it's not a bad book. It's not. So it starts out with, young Diana climbing a tree, and she's trying to get a view of Themyscira, the home that she loves so much.
I just love the way you said that.
Yeah. Her favorite home.
Much.
Yep. She then falls out of this tree, only to be saved by her kangaroo Jumpa. Imaginative name. And then she
they sure jumped to great ideas with that one.
Yep, totally.
This is why in the Themyscira you get called by what you do. So that's why the gardener's called Doug.
Moving on. So it goes through, Diana's. Of course, it's the adventures of young Diana. So it's going to be young Diana through this whole book. And she's jumping through Themyscira. She's causing a wreck. She's like, I can be more. I'm ready to go on adventures. I'm ready to be, useful to society. I'm ready to have a job, so on and so forth. And I love this clip here where she falls into the ocean. Jumpa just kind of like jumps or knocks her into the ocean, and she sees a shark, and you're partially like, oh my God, she's going to get eaten. But no, she's saved.
You sound excited and disappointed at that.
Yeah.
That's because we were all hoping the shark would have gone up to Diana and been like, hello, my name's Bruce.
Oh, name's Bruce. Hey.
Do you want to come to a party? Remember, Amazons are friends, not food.
Anyways, it then jumps over to a party where Diana's trying to figure out. She's like, I'm tired of being the kid. I want more to do around here. And they're like, haha, joke's on you. We decided you're going to study and learn more. And so that's what she does. She goes to the library with what's her name? I'm forgetting her name off the top of my head.
Princess Twilight Sparkle?
Princess Twilight Sparkle, yes. It'll come to me, or I'll read it through here eventually. But it's the person who is the scribe of Themyscira. She keeps all the books, and Diana's like, I don't understand why I should be here. I want to be outside. And the more Princess Twilight Sparkle speaks, the more she gets involved and interested in this story. And she's like, okay, this is a lot more interesting than what I first thought it would be. And then Cleo, this lady by the name of Cleo, jumps in. She's like, you're here to learn the truth, not be swayed over by this lady's stories and opinions and theories. And she's like, oh, shucks. And they secretly devise a plan to find this lost lore book that Aphrodite was apparently holding. If you've seen the artwork, they discuss how all the other gods or goddesses are holding a book except Aphrodite. And so there must be a lost book. And that's the adventure of this story, is through the most part of this, it's Diana trying to find this lost book. And so she overcomes her fear of the sharks, dives down into this lost area, this lost ruin, and this baby megalodon guides her to the bottom where she finds the book. It discusses war and pain and all the things that the Amazons are trying to hide away. And turns out it has some ripped out pages. She goes to this old witch who has...
I like that page where she dives in. That's class.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the artwork grows on you. She goes to this old witch who basically talks about how, for example, Zeus, when Hercules defeated the Nemean lion, he put his story in the stars, but nothing like that is meant for the Amazons, and so she can trust trust Diana with these lost pages, so on and so forth. So that way we can see the importance in the story, or
Cool.
the importance in the truth rather than so much the story. The Amazons have made the same mistake. We place so much importance in a story that it has made truth difficult to tell, is exactly what she says to Diana. So she hands the pages off. As she's sitting there at night, she hears a voice saying, "You can read me. I'm your best friend. We don't have to wait till morning. You can totally read me." And she's like, maybe I should read these pages. And she opens them up and gets swayed by the story. And she gets depressed and angsty and angry like a teenager, only to have her mother come in, tell her to go outside. And then Princess Twilight Sparkle finds her over at the beach, and she's reading the book, or she's reading the lost pages, and argument ensues. The pages tear, magic ekes out, and then suddenly Cersei's in control of Princess Twilight Sparkle.
It's all been a ruse to get Diana to read the book, the bad book. So is the moral of this story that books are bad?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Don't read. You heard it from here. You heard it first from here, kids. Don't read. It's bad for your health.
All right.
That's a joke. Don't. Reading's good. Keep reading. But basically, this is just an ounce of Cersei's power.
I've got to say, man, you've actually you've committed to this, haven't you?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I said, I started reading it, and I was like, man, this is a long book, but I've already gotten halfway through it. I'm committing, so I read through the whole thing.
That 80 pages of commitment. That's
yeah. It's a long book, but they fight off Cersei's hold off Princess Twilight Sparkle, which now that I'm thinking is her name. Her name is actually Cleo, and I don't know the other one's name.
Rainbow Dash.
Yes, we'll go with Rainbow Dash. But it talks about how, in the original book, the queen was the one who had the pages ripped out because it told her story and how she was the one that basically incited the war and caused so much pain for the Amazons. Okay. And so she didn't want that pain to become known to Diana and the others. And so enter Diana's, origin story.
So, is it worth a read?
I thought it was. Like I said, it started out rough in the beginning. It was long. There was a lot of lengthy text. Mm-hmm. But the more you go through it, the more it latches on to you.
Okay, excellent, cool. Josh, we didn't have to read this because it was Matthew's punishment. Nope. So I'm glad you saved all that. Yes.
Nope.
Yeah.
As I was looking through, because to be honest, since we didn't have to read it, this is actually the first time seeing it. Was Matthew's review. So Matthew, great job. You have now saved me $9.99.
Yay! Glad I can help.
I'm bummed out that Jordi Belair did not really have a whole lot to do with the art, because she does a phenomenal job with the art. And I feel like with her name on here, there should have been some Jordi Belair art. Johnny, as you said, I'm sure that she had a hand as far as like, hey, no, it should look like this. I'm sure there was those conversations.
Interesting.
Even a variant cover would have been something from Jordi Belair. That would have been great.
I do like her writing. I loved her on Red Sonja Vampirella. I thought it was class.
Yeah,
I thought it was pacey. I thought it had a good depth for both characters that have been absolutely well and truly published, more than Batman at times, it seems. So you know what, I'm always going to be interested in stuff she's going to do, whether it be her colors or whether it be something that she writes. This isn't aimed at me in any shape, way, or form, which is why I handed it off.
No,
I did it off like a pigskin on 4th and 1. That's what I did. There you go.
But I would say that this book is definitely geared towards, those preteen kids. And I'll take my daughter, for example. She's 12. This would be the book for her. That's the target market.
It's funny.
And Matthew for not showing up.
So it's funny. It's funny when every time we talk about young reader books, whether it be the preteen or whatever, I often think when I was reading comics back in the day, like when I was a kid reading comics back in the day, I didn't need a young book. I just used to pick them up off the rack. Has the lack of comic code actually hindered youngsters picking up comic books?
I think it's the fact that society now is trying to be more conscious or more aware of age groups and what's appropriate. I mean, I look back to books when I was a kid, and some of those comics I shouldn't have been reading. I did anyway.
I get that, and I totally get your point and understand where you're coming from. But here's my question: why is it comics' responsibility? Why is the comic book industry's responsibility to do that? When my 8-year-old niece dances, my anaconda don't. You ain't not getting on till you've got big buns, hun, from Nicki Minaj that she sees on MTV, or when she dances the Body Yaddy Yaddy song by Melanie D. Stallion.
Yeah.
Right now, more people are going to watch that than are ever going to read a comic book. So what my rhetoric question, because we ain't got time to answer this bad boy, my rhetoric question is, why is the comic industry to blame? Why is it comic books that have
I wouldn't even say it's the comic industry. I've seen it with other mediums. I've seen it with video games. I've seen it with some movies, but for whatever reason, social media has dictated the direction that stuff goes. And I think some parents just not to their fault, but they just kind of, I don't want to say they turn a blind eye to it, but they turn a blind eye to it, if that makes any sense.
It is so much easier to access a YouTube video with Nicki Minaj as the whatever she does than it is to go to a store and pick up a comic book.
Matthew's point is bang on right. My friend at work, his 12-year-old, 13-year-old spoke to him the other day and caught his dad watching Squid Game. You know the Netflix show? Have you guys got this?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. I'm kind of like
I know about it.
I got too many books to do.
It's not my thing. But the lad said to his dad, "What you watching?" And his dad said, "Oh, Squid Game." He said, "Oh, what episode you on?" He goes, "I'm on episode 8." He goes, "Oh, just be warned. It's a bit racy in episode whatever." So this 13-year-old was watching Squid Games. Now, for however mature you are as a 13-year-old, which is whatever, somehow you can watch a 13-year-old is mature enough to watch Squid Game, but not mature enough to read, say, Batman Imposter. Really? Really? Is that what we're saying? Anyway, enough of the public service announcement. Which
Back
has been
to comic books.
That was a nice segue, though, to the next book.
Good. It's like I've done this for a while, isn't it? Which is brought to you by the Dolphins losing today, or else I wouldn't be in the mood. All right, next up, I suppose, is the big bad bat. We haven't talked about Batman for a while, so it's Batman the Imposter, book 1 of 3. It's the Black Label book, so we all know what Black Label means. It means darkness.
No parents.
Written by Mattson Tomlin, art by Andrea Sorrentino, who you'll have seen on Joker Killer Smile. Colors by doing what she does best, Jordi Belair. And DC, I'm going to hold you to task on this. Why did it take me a good hour to find out from the internet, not from you, not from the book, not from your website, that the letters are by Steve Wands? Why did it take me? Why are you not crediting letterers? There you go. Josh.
Yep.
Batman the Imposter, what did you think?
Three
now for commercial
words.
break.
3 words. 9 panel pages.
Oh, was there any in there?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
There was a few.
There was. Okay, so to be honest, this is one of those books. You know how I've mentioned many times that there needs to be a balance of both the artwork and the writing in order for the story to be readable. The artwork, there was so much going on this. It was distracting from the story. I got lost in what was going on as I was reading because of how much is going on in the artwork. From the art style, which was different for Batman. Now on the flip side of that, it does have that. Yes, it does have that indie feel, which I appreciated. But it threw me off because of how much is going on, that I got lost in what is going on.
All right.
I don't know if this is trying to take a grittier approach, very similar to the Batman. I'll take that as a yes, based on Johnny's
vigorous nodding.
Vigorous nodding.
He stopped drinking his beer to nod.
So, I mean, between everything going on, the 9 panel pages, I have to go back and read it again and focus more on the story because I got lost.
Okay, cool. It's a good shout. Matthew, what are your thoughts on this? A totally different train of thought than Young Wonder Woman, I expect.
It was a totally different train of thought because jumping from reading Young Wonder Woman to reading this, major difference. Night and day. Haha. Gotham night and day.
In Gotham, night and day is the same thing.
Yeah, right. There are no days in Gotham.
Yeah.
I have to say
it's
that
one night.
one of my favorite pages is the one where it has the bats flying, but in each bat it shows like a panel of the artwork. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Not that one in particular. The first one that we come across on like page 4 or 5.
Oh, where's this one?
Yeah, that one. Absolutely loved that. For some reason, I stayed on that page. I didn't read it, but I just I just focused in on the artwork on that page for a while before going back. Yeah, I was just taking it in. It was very aesthetically pleasing for me. But just like with what Josh said, there's a lot of art to kind of just go through before you can focus on the words. There's a lot going on. If they had extended the book by like 3 or 4 pages and just taken the artwork and just spread it out, it would have been so much better. It would have been so much better if they took some of these 9 panel pages, cut them in half, and put them on the next page. But there's all sorts of issues coming with creating comic books, such as like limiting on pages, limiting on size, so on and so forth. That I don't know. I don't make comic books. I'm not an editor of any kind, so I can't put my 2 cents in that way for it. But it was a good story. We start out with Batman being hurt, finding his discovering how he got hurt, and then finding his way into this lady's office. I believe her name was Wesker.
Nope. Tompkins. Nope. It's Dr. Leslie. This version's.
I saw the Wesker building, so
So Leslie Tompkins is a character from Batman of any generation, basically.
Okay.
Originally, she was the girl, an old socialite who was living on Park Lane, which is known as Crime Alley, that comforted young Bruce after his parents got killed.
Okay.
As her story progressed, she becomes like a physician. She helped hide Steph when Steph was injured. She's known about Batman. She hasn't known about Batman. So from this Black Label book, which we all know is out of continuity, this could be how, and it's alluded to in the text that she knew Bruce when he was little before he left Gotham in the first place. This is how she finds out that Bruce is Batman.
Okay.
There you go.
Well,
Cool.
well, then there you go. And it's kind of like that whole psychiatrist thing going on.
Yep.
So I did enjoy, seeing Bruce talking with a psychiatrist and trying to, find his own headspace.
Cool.
And then my next favorite panel was the one where he and the tower are whited out with the scene of Gotham before him.
Mhm.
And then the lower panel, you can see that one beautiful tear sinking down his cheek.
I think you've nailed this one, Matthew. I think this, and Josh to an extent, this book, it is just gorgeous to look at. There is a lot of writing towards the final third of this book to go through. It's easy to get confused who's who. Wesker, of course, we know him as Arnold Wesker, who is the ventriloquist.
Oh, okay.
And not in this. He's the one of the businesses that seems to be under threat by Batman. So obviously he's a dodgy businessman. Plot-wise, who's the imposter? Why he's there? It's been done before.
One.
Yeah, I mean, Legends of the Dark Knight did this type of thing a fair few times. Art-wise, reminds me of Maria Lovett from Faithless. It also has a little bit of Michael Gaydos on there from, I think it's the Black Hood, which is part of the Archie adult imprint. So if you like your art a little bit esoteric, a little bit, I mean, look at that panel. Matthew's absolutely right. The way it kind of contrasts absolutely brilliantly. Leslie Tompkins gets diversified. Anyone have a problem with this?
I mean, like you said, there's so much stuff out of continuity that, just run with it.
Yeah, and I think that's a way to look at it, because when Leslie Tompkins was first introduced in Batman, way back around Detective 237 off the top of my head. I am going off the top of my head there. She's a little old lady that looks like Aunt May. And we all know how she's sort of changed through that. There you go. I can hear you clicking, so Josh must be checking to see whether or not I'm right.
Oh, no, that was me clicking. That was me clicking.
Okay,
I was pulling up the next panel.
So this book for me is an absolute gem. It's good to see. I think after a couple of Black Label books have been a little bit of a hit and miss. I think this one kind of resets the balance a little bit. And I do agree, it is massively influenced by the Batman movie that's coming out next year.
Yeah, very gritty.
Yeah, lots of red in the first act.
Yeah,
cool. Definitely worth your money. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Before we dive into our last book, it is advert time. Josh.
Yeah. So here we go.
There you go. Just another reason to check out New CPN for all your favorite shows. All right. Be warned. Just don't do it whilst you're watching this. All right. Finish it. Cool. All right. We've said her name once. Shall we say her name twice? Well, I picked this book mainly because Josh wasn't answering his tweets. I picked this book because I looked through the Wonder Woman 80th special anniversary from the other week, and I was reading the Steve Trevor book, and it was like, Wonder Woman's dead? Read more in 780. So it's what I did. There you go. I do what I'm told. I'm not stupid about this. All right, so let's get into the nitty gritty with this. So Written by Michael W. Conrad and Becky Cloonan. Art is by Travis Moore on pages 1 through 22 and 30. Steve Pugh is around for pages 23 through 29. Colors are by Tamara Bonvillain, who has got the coolest surname of anybody in comic books right now. And the work is absolutely spot on. Letters about Pat Brousseau or Brousseau.
Funny, her first name was John. Then she could be John Bonvillain.
Or James Bonvillain.
James Bonvillain.
But it's not. It's Tamara. So
We're not
Tamara,
making fun of you. We're not making
so Tamara, sorry for all the bad jokes regarding your fantastic name. Please note, we love your work. We think you're fantastic. All right, so there you go. As I was saying, letters are by Pat Brousseau, which is hard for me to say. And to be fair, I think I've given him some grief before over his letters in the previous Wonder Woman series. So, where shall we start? Well, as Matthew seems to have an affinity for Wonder Woman.
What? No, don't start with me.
Don't start with you?
No, it's your book, man. You start.
Not my book.
What? It's your book.
Actually, if you guys were paying attention to the tweets,
Exactly.
I said I would actually pick this one up.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
So
That's why I was confused.
I can sum up the book in 3 words: Wonder Woman returns.
Hey.
And that's really what it is. Like, she is back. She's back with the Justice League. And this book is just her reconnecting with the Justice League and their reaction seeing her return as well.
It shows how important she is to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When we can even see Black Canary, it'll be like, Daniel! And Johnny gets a full view of
I mean, let's be honest. Batman is smiling.
Mm-hmm.
How often in books, not excluding the 60s or 50s when he had the perma smile?
60s.
The
Batman
60s.
66.
But how often do we see Batman smile?
Not often.
No, we saw it in The Killing Joke.
Not in a good way. Yeah.
And the Batman Who Laughs.
And-
We see a lot of it there.
Well, Johnny, it is just.
What? Did I touch a sore subject or something? What's going on?
For the record, I didn't do that. Damn that,
I know exactly who did.
I blame the audio guy.
I blame the audio guy too.
Of course.
But Johnny, I mean, you hit it right on the head. It shows just how important Diana is to the Justice League as a whole. Yes, we see Black Canary, who's super excited to see Diana again.
Mm-hmm.
So much that she jumps into her arms and we get fishnets. That is probably some of the best fishnets we've seen in comics as of late.
Yep. Johnny,
would you agree?
Probably why Johnny picked up this book in IRL.
I think we saw more fishnets in Deathstroke Incorporated.
Oh, okay.
There were a lot in there. Yeah.
I mean, character design was spot on.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Black Canary was the best in this book. I digress. Seeing Diana reunite with her mother and their interaction. This is honestly just a feel-good book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
And I thought the artwork was great. Even though we're switching artists in between, halfway through the book.
Yep.
I didn't even feel like it was a huge change. Which, to the artist's credit, is a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can have, 2 different styles jump in halfway through the book, and it maintains consistency and continuity in the artwork.
Mm-hmm.
So, job well done.
Very good.
Honestly, this is just a great book to read, and I know we had given Diana a lot of crap as of late in books prior, so I'm happy to have a book with Diana that we're not going to talk crap on.
Yeah. I love this book. I thought it was probably Wonder Woman as a book is one of my guilty sins. In that I always check it out. I always flick through and find out what's going on. I have been a little bit lapse when Hippolyta came into the book, because I'm not a big Hippolyta fan. I am all about Diana. Sue me.
Hippolyta.
What?
Hippolyta.
Hippolyta. It's Hippolyta.
Hippolyta.
It's Hippolyta.
I know how to pronounce it, but I'm pronouncing it the way I want to. Hippolyta.
Right,
so
okay.
does that mean it's Jasoon too odd?
Yep.
What?
Yep, that's exactly how you pronounce it.
Uh,
It's actually pronounced Jasoon Tadida.
Okay, that's right.
Yep. There's two D's there.
what's today?
It's okay, Ron.
It's okay. Look.
Is this one of
You
one of
ask
those
your friend
cards.
D-Nice and Timothy and
I'm there now. All right. So okay, yeah.
Rusty
Sorry. Obviously, Orangi is the new Balak.
Look, it's okay, John.
Balaki.
You're older than us. It just takes a little bit for the brain cells to kick in. It's fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's that mute button again?
audio guy attack again.
So
I'll just be out. See you guys.
get back here. You've had too much time off already. All right. Okay. So yeah, this book is absolutely, it reconnects the reader to who Wonder Woman is. It reconnects Wonder Woman to the DC universe again. Of course, there's little signs and portents for what is due and what's going on, because she's not quite herself in times, which is going to be interesting down the line. What I find particularly tricky is the fact there's now 3 Wonder Womans, and there's going to be, because there's Nubia, Hippolyta, and Diana. On top of that, you've got Wonder Girl, Donna Troy Wonder Girl, and Cassie Sandsmark Wonder Girl. So, I mean, that's a whole lot of wonder in the DC universe.
I wonder what's going on. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm not
touching it. All right. Okay. So that's my thoughts on the book. Matthew.
I think both of you hit the nail on the head. Like I said, it's marvelous artwork all the way through. Just absolutely well done. It's great to see Diana return. Honestly, when I picked this up, I was like, when did Wonder Woman die? But the fact that she's back and we can see the impact that she has on everybody when she comes back is done really well.
It's a great question. When did Wonder Woman die? Well, it's part of the Infinite Crisis 0, in which she was brought up into the higher realms after saving the multiverse.
That's where I assumed it was, but I wasn't for certain. So.
That's cool. It's cool. It's fine. I mean, that's what I'm here for. You know,
you're the guy who knows all.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Like I said, you're older than us. There's more room to fit stuff in that brain. It just takes a while to kickstart.
Oh boy.
Remember that
time
earlier when I said once I start digging, I just might as well keep going?
Yeah, because
Jeopardy questions are going to suck. Oh, crap.
It's fine.
Yeah, look, I'm not the old I have Alzheimer's. I remember that. All right, okay. Do we have time for another quick book to get in there, do you think? If we make it super quick?
One last ride, is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
One last book and one last ride.
Right, so I'll quickly run through this. This is Justice League Last Ride, number 6 of 7, so it's the penultimate issue. Written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Miguel Mendonica, colors by Enrique Angeloni, whatever, and world design. I'm going to start this one off whilst we look for the images. Do you want a hand with the image? Because I've got it right here.
Yep, go for it.
Share 2 seconds. I will say now that I absolutely thought this book was very much like Wonder Woman, an absolute blast. I thought it was such a fun read. I did not expect it to happen like this at all. I thought the art was tickety boo. I thought some of the ideas behind it was really good. The fact it makes logical sense that Darkseid should have a Green Lantern ring, because he's all about willpower, right? Somebody gets killed, the ring goes off looking for willpower, not, I'm looking for a superhero with great willpower. Makes you question why Lex Luthor hasn't had a ring by now. But you know what? It feels like such a traditional comic book. Great ideas. Here you've got Cyborg Superman matched up with Brainiac. Why did it take 8 years to think of that?
I don't know, but that was such a cool idea. I mean, not only that, but you've got Darkseid who's rocking the power of the Green Lanterns. I mean, what? How kick-ass is that?
And even better when he kicks off Apocalypse. I mean, what a great picture of Wonder Woman for a start. Yeah, she looks great there.
Wonderful artwork in this book.
And then went there, just that worries you, you know.
Do you think that triggered Superman thinking it was Krypton? Like, oh no, not Krypton again.
He probably didn't go there because he saw green. I was like, nope, getting away from that.
Nope, I'm out. Peace.
See you. Have fun, you guys.
No, it was. This harks back for me like some really old school Justice League books where it's just let's go balls to the wall and just put loads of action in there.
You know, I feel like that should have been a quote for the book. This is balls to the wall action.
Definitely.
What do you guys? Again, the Green Lantern, the Green Energy inspired parademons.
Yeah.
This is like one of these throwaway books. You kind of think, oh, it's just a book. It's just a Justice League book. It's only going to run seven issues. It's kind of you give it away because you think, I'm done with it. Infinite Crisis just sucked all my energy out of it. But then you look at this book and it's like the final page when you get. I'm not going to spoil it until we get there. I mean, look at that. You've always said that he's the heart and soul of the Justice League.
Yep.
And there you go.
What you guys think? Also bring attention to the fact that the Justice League even gets so desperate that they go to hire Lobo.
They go to hire Lobo.
I think that was probably my least favorite bit when he opens up the satchel full of money. I mean, I get the idea, but then he gives it the whole like. To me, it sounded when he said about the money. It was like back credit card, never leave home without it. I was like, just
true.
A step too far for me on that bit. But
I don't know. I find the comedic value in that they're using all their resources to stop Darkseid. And hell, let's include Lobo and put a hit on Darkseid. That is so un-Justice League. That the fact that the Justice League is doing it makes it even funnier to me.
Yeah. I thought
it just shows how desperate they are.
Yeah. I thought this has been a quiet sleeper of a book, to be honest. And I know I bought the first issue, and when my local Forbidden Planets forgot that I had ordered it and it wasn't in my order, I didn't cry about it. Now I'm a little bit pissed. Go figure.
I mean, that's fair, but at the end of the day, it was, like you said, balls to the wall action. Great. This is a solid Justice League story.
Maybe better than the regular book?
Yeah. It's one of the few times that, I mean, not only do we get both Hal Jordan and John Stewart, right?
Right.
And Apocalypse.
And Apocalypse.
As a Green
and
Lantern.
Darkseid. And Lobo. I mean, this is just a massive characters. And at the rate this is going, we don't even have to worry about Flash resetting the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And doing what Flash does, just running away and reset everything. So
that concept's getting pretty worn out.
Tell me about it.
How many times he's done it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it.
Moving along.
Right, so there you go. That's 4 books and a DC FanDome review all in one episode. And we even had time to take the mickey out of Matthew and Josh and me. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, thank you very much for spending the time. I really do appreciate it. For everyone else, Don't forget to check out the UCPN for all your favorite shows, including Matthew.
The Jank Think Tank, where we do gameplay, deck techs, and card combos, and all sorts of Magic the Gathering content.
Cool. Josh.
Flipside Focus, your home for all things independent comics, with my awesome co-host, Johnny the Machine Hughes.
All right, excellent. And of course, we can't forget the Old Timers Comic Book Show, where the hosts aren't old, but the comics most certainly are. There you go. Guys, be a blast.
Well, and you can't forget, we've also got, for those of you who like migraines, I mean Marvel, we've got the No Prize podcast.
I wasn't going to mention migraines.
Well, I know. But we got to give the network as a whole love.
Yeah.
We've also got the one and only Outside the Panels with Johnny the Machine Hughes. And if you guys haven't listened to his latest episodes, you need to. They have been phenomenal.
The last one had a guest from Crisis in the Toyverse. Bob O'Mac was on there.
Yeah.
And for those that do like everything that's migraine, check out the next episode next week, where I will be guesting to give my views on some Marvel books. There you go.
Yeah. So
I don't know what I've done to
we
deserve
have a
that.
lot here on UCPN. So definitely check it out.
UCPN. All right, guys. It's been a blast.
As always.
I'm going back to watch some football of teams that can actually score more than 20 points, which includes the Jaguars now, not the Dolphins. And that's it. This is Johnny Machine Hughes saying adios.
Bye.